answer. Jesus Christ. Mo Salah, ladies and gentlemen. Jesus Christ. Hey guys, it's your boy, Ojo Sam here, back again with another video. Today, we're going to be doing our post-match analysis and player ratings of Liverpool versus Leeds United in a 4-3 win for Liverpool in a 7-goal thriller. And Jesus Christ, what a game. If you're a neutral, you guys would have loved that game. If you're a Liverpool fan, I think you would have been kind of stressed. I particularly wasn't, but again, I can understand why you were. If you're a Liverpool fan, and Leeds United fans, bro, I don't have a hat, but I tip my hat off to you. Bielsa and you guys are doing a brilliant job at your pressing's brilliant and all of that. It was a very fun game though. And I think Leeds United fans, I don't think they'll be too upset with the result. And I think they'll just be overall proud of it. But let's get started with the analysis and all of that. First of all, let's talk about the lineups. Leeds United started off with a 4-1-4-1. Again, I don't really know too much about Leeds United. I haven't really watched them that much. I know that they're quite a good pressing side. And that was really it, to be honest. I said I haven't fully watched Leeds United last season. I didn't really watch the Championship. I should do, but I don't really. And then Liverpool, the lineup was quite bog standard, to be honest. I was really hoping the midfield was going to be Fabinho, Keita, and Wijnaldum. It was 2 out of 3. Gini Wijnaldum, obviously in the midfield with Keita, and then Jordan Henderson in the number 6 role from the looks of things. And then obviously Joe Gomez, Van Dijk, Robertson and Trent in defence, Alisson in goal, and then the front three is obviously Firmino, Mane and Salah. Now, let's get into the game. The game started off quite, from the get-go, I think it looks like a new Liverpool. And I don't know how to describe it. And I'm hoping, obviously we've won the league now, and I don't know whether it's a mental thing or anything, but because of us winning the league, I feel like there's somewhat of a weight off our shoulders from the looks of things, and it's a good thing but also a bad thing. One end of the pitch, we looked much more better in attack. I think we looked a bit more fluid. Maybe it's because Leeds' pressing style did somewhat play to our hands, but we looked much more fluid, and I'll get into it a bit more. And, we looked very good in attack. We were quite fluid. Our passes were very good. Similar to our 17-18 attack, in my opinion. I think that was the closest I've really properly seen to our 17-18 attack, where most of our threat wasn't out wide from the fullbacks. It was mainly through our wingers and down the middle of the park. However, the main issue was obviously, with us being so good in attack, defensively we weren't as good, sadly. But let's get into it. As I said, I wanted Fabinho to start, and I think one of the main reasons, before we do that, let's start off with the first few chances. Obviously, the first one starting, I believe, as I said, Liverpool started off from the front foot very well. Obviously, we kicked off, and the first one I remember was really with Keita dribbling past a few plays into Firmino, and I understand what Firmino was trying to do, and it's one thing that I'll get onto a little bit, which frustrated me a lot about Firmino. I thought his overall ball play and everything was good, but it feels like he's scared of the goal. And I don't know how to describe it, but it feels like he's scared of the goal. So in this one, Keita does very well, plays the ball into Firmino. Firmino could have gone for the shot, but he tried to cut it back, and it gets cleared out. And that was really the first proper chance of the game. I think he tries to play it back to either Keita or Wijnaldum, because both of them make a run into the box, which was really good. And then it leads to it doesn't lead to a chance. It was probably one of the biggest chances of before the obviously goal. And then the goal again, as I said, normally last season, the season before that, most of our width and attack came from the fullbacks. And most of this actually came down the middle and through our wingers. And it was great to see, to be honest. I did like to see that because, again, we need to change up our tactics for this season. But the first chance, which led to the penalty, Mo Salah does a dummy. Mane gets on the ball. He has a little tussle with one of the centre-backs. I can't remember exactly who it was. Mane manages to get the better of him. Gets towards the right hand side, plays into Mohamed Salah. Mohamed Salah was already getting to these positions quite a lot, but in around the box, on the right hand side, cuts inside, goes for the shot, arm was out. There was some, debate whether it was a penalty. Personally, I think it was a penalty. The ball hits, the t-shirt line, which is this here. It hits him right here, but the debate was, obviously, it came off his knee, then hit his hand, but his hand was already out in that position, which, again, due to the rules, it's in an unnatural position. So I do personally think it was a penalty. And then Salah, it's weird. I knew it was a different Salah when Donny was dribbling, taking the mick out of everyone. And the penalty just showed it for me. Because normally when Salah takes a penalty, he doesn't seem sure of himself. And this one it was clean. And that's the best way I can describe it. Milner takes clean penalties. Cristiano takes clean penalties. The good penalty takers normally take clean penalties. Salah isn't one of them. Today, on the other hand, took a clean-ass penalty, and it was beautiful. And I'm talking about the attack. It was brilliant. Salah was amazing. Mane was amazing. The dribbling was, it was beautiful. Nobody get up past him. There was double teaming. He was able to get past everyone. It was like 17, 18 Salah. Mane was, there was one bit that he did on the left-hand side that was just beautiful. It looked like they were taking the mick at some points. However, the main issue I had no issue with the attack, apart from a few things, but mainly I didn't have any issue. The main issue came about first goal, and it kept on happening. The game was a brilliant game for the neutral, as I said. End-to-end football, it was beautiful. But the main issue I had was Joe Gomez, bro. And Trent as well. That right-hand side was not good. They were both too aggressive, especially Joe Gomez. And I think the first goal came about, by the way, not going to downplay what Leeds United did, because Calvin Phillips did brilliantly. All them guys in the hair buns, and when everything they had, the whole team was bunned up and everything, yeah, they did amazing. The ball there from Phillips, beautiful pass, brilliant switch of play from the middle down to the left hand side, and then Harrison does a beautiful touch to get the ball off his feet, and Trent maybe could do better, but with that touch and those two, it will do anyone over. Like, to be honest, skill was amazing. He gets the touch and then goes out and then cuts inside and then goes near post, cuts the angle. I think he nutmegs Joe Gomez in the process and scores a brilliant goal in the bottom corner. I believe just before that as well, Leeds United did get a goal disallowed. It was rightfully disallowed. It was offside, but again, it showed a few shaky signs from Liverpool. Obviously, Harrison scored a brilliant goal. But then before that, there was a goal, I think, from Helder Costa, which a ball got crossed in. It was a little bit shaky. I think either Joe Gomez or Van Dijk got out-muscled, and then Helder Costa tucked in. He was in the offside position. But again, the defensive frailties started to show a little bit, and it was kind of indicating what was carrying over from last season, at the end of last season, carrying over to this season, it seemed like. But the main issue I had, which again, we got the goal, again, Van Dijk from the cross, from a corner, and then, I mean, Leeds United should be doing better defensively, in my opinion. Van Dijk in acres of space, heads it in. The crowd noise thought it didn't go in. It went way over the line, and Van Dijk got the goal. But the problem I had, as I said, Salah was amazing, but defensively, Joe Gomez was, to me, a bit too aggressive in the game today. I think he was a little bit aggressive, and with aggressiveness in the defense, because obviously we do play with quite a high line, but yeah. But the main issue of the game for me was that we were pushing a lot of the way we were defending was very reckless, in my opinion. We were very reckless. There was a lot of times where, for example, Joe Gomez would push up, nobody would cover, from midfield would cover the hole that Joe Gomez or anybody will put in place, then that would cause Van Dijk and Robertson to push over, and then that would cause a massive overload in the attack, which, again, all credit to Leeds United, did a fantastic job in exploiting that. There was a lot of opportunities where if it hadn't have hit Van Dijk, it would have led to a brilliant goal and stuff like that. There was a lot of chances that Leeds United created that, in exploiting what Liverpool did, and Liverpool were doing defensively, I think. And that's why I kind of wanted Fabinho starting instead of a Henderson as a DM, because he would have definitely been able to cut the play, intercept the passes a bit better. Even though it's not the same Fabinho it's not the best Fabinho we've got, but I do think in the DM role in this type of game scenario, I think he would have been better today. That's just my opinion. But Leeds United get another goal. This one, again, if I'm trying to remember it correctly, Van Dijk. I think I understood why he made the mistake and how he made the mistake, but it was still very stupid from him. So the ball's on the left-hand side. He gets played over the top, and Patrick Bamford, who's almost had a goal earlier on where he tried to go around Alisson. Alisson does very well to recover. He's looking for the run in behind. Van Dijk, as nonchalant as he normally is and looks very calm, he tries to hit the ball. There was a little bit of miscommunication between Alisson and Van Dijk. Van Dijk, in my opinion, should have left it. But instead, he tries to play it over Bamford into Andy Robertson on the left-hand side. And he gets his bearings a bit wrong. And then it ends up landing into Patrick Bamford. Alisson kind of caught out of position. Again, not fought to his own. He gets a little touch onto the ball. But Patrick Bamford manages to get the goal. And it ends up being 2-2. And again, very frustrating. I felt like, again, we were controlling the ball, we were pressing high up on the pitch. We were very good in that sense. I think we were pretty good in attack, especially. I think today it was just our defense that let us down. Then the third goal, brilliant finish from a free kick from Andrew Robertson. It gets curled in, and then it gets headed out by a Leeds United player, and then Mo Salah gets the ball, touches it down, and oh my goodness, absolutely blazes it into the near post, top corner. Goalkeeper was on the goalkeeper's side, but the power was just way too much. That I think if the goalkeeper got a hand to it, it may have hit the crossbar, but it was still going in. Like, the goal was unstoppable. It was a brilliant finish to make it 3-2, and that was like, what, after like 32 minutes? The game was ridiculous. Mohamed Salah was on a mad one. It was beautiful. And then afterwards, half-time comes about, and the game somewhat dies down, but it seemed, for me, that Liverpool should have tried to kill the game off a bit earlier. You know, we had a few chances. Roberto Firmino probably having one of the best ones. He had quite a few, and it felt again that he wasn't really at it because, yeah, he just wasn't. I'm being honest with you. He felt like every single time he'd get near the goal, there was a lot of times, especially in the second half, we were dominating the ball. We had a lot of the ball. Whenever Leeds United had the ball in around the area, we would be able to press them high. But I think there was even a stat that showed that Leeds United were able to, in American, they say turnovers inside their own area. We were able to force about 7 turnovers, and they were only able to force 1. And that was showing how well we were playing in attack and how well we were pressing as a team in attack. But the thing was that we were being very complacent. There was a brilliant play where Firmino does a brilliant turn, then plays it into Salah. Salah does a dummy. Mane gets the ball, plays it into Salah. Salah into Mane. Mane flops the shot. And there was another one where Salah gets the ball, plays into Firmino. Firmino doesn't know what he's doing. He's supposed to lay it off. He doesn't end up laying it off. And then he gets missed. There were so many chances that we ended up having, and we just weren't able to actually seal the game off. And that was our issue there. I think attacking-wise, we're absolutely brilliant. But then we made a few changes, and I think that's what actually screwed us over. I think we brought on Henderson. Well, we had Henderson on. We took him off for Curtis Jones. Keita came off beforehand for Fabinho, I believe. And that was, I think, our main issue. Because Curtis Jones, obviously, him being quite young, 19 years of age, he came on, and then that's led to the third goal. I think he wasn't able to track his marker. It was between either him or Fabinho. They weren't able to track their marker. He kind of lost the 50-50 battle. Trent did make a bad throw in as well, leading to the goal. I think he was expecting Salah to stay put, but Salah was looking for a run in behind. A little bit of miscommunication in that part. But they get the ball, and then I think it was Click, or whatever his name is, makes a very good run from deep, splitting the defence open, gets the ball, and then, boom, into the bottom left-hand corner. It was a brilliant half volley. Alisson couldn't really do much about it. Again, it was just tracking the runners, but again, it was very, very good play from Leeds United. And for a team that last season, from what I've heard, weren't really good at converting their chances, today they were clinical as hell. They picked the right moments and capitalised on Liverpool's mistakes and frailties at the back, and it was brilliant from them, to be honest. But again, I wasn't worried at any moment because Liverpool, first of all, they're playing at home. I know they're not playing in front of the crowd, but they had this thing about them. They're like, especially today, it felt like whatever Leeds United would do, Liverpool would always be able to, straight away after a goal, pick up again. It always felt like whatever Liverpool were doing, if Leeds United scored, they picked up again, and that's what it felt like today. And when Leeds United scored, same thing again. Liverpool ended up back on the front foot, and we kept on pressing. We kept on getting chances. Van Dijk gets a goal disallowed. Mane got a goal disallowed in the first half, by the way. I forgot to say that. If only the ball was played to Andrew Robertson a bit earlier, I think that would have been a brilliant goal, similar to the one where Salah scored against Man City a few years ago in the 17-18 season. It was similar fashion, to be honest. But Van Dijk gets a goal disallowed, from his second goal, which was a trip from Curtis Jones. I haven't seen the trip properly, but it does look like he did trip him up a little bit. I was a bit annoyed. Van Dijk wasn't the one in fact. I think it was Curtis Jones. Van Dijk again finding himself free, and he scores the goal, but obviously it was a foul. You guys let me know if you think it was a foul. And then, again, but we were creating loads of chances. We were pressing them. We had most of the ball. We were very, very good in that sense. But then, last minute, 87th minute, we get another corner on the left-hand side. It gets headed out. Gini Wijnaldum tries his best to head it. It gets headed out again, lands into Fabinho. And then the new signing, I think it was Koch. I don't want to say his name, but you know what I mean. That was the first foul. But then this one, Fabinho gets a touch ahead of Rodrigo. I think Rodrigo was quite lazy in the challenge. I don't think it was kind of put his foot out, tried to block it. but as strikers do. And in the end, he ends up making a very stupid foul, which then leads to the penalty. And Salah, again, when I was telling you before, he doesn't take clean penalties, but this season he's a bit different. Mo Salah, more problems, fam. He's got that streamlined hair now. He's even got the beard. Have you seen his beard? Donny has been going to Turkey, and he's getting that beard. He's different. He's different now. I'm telling you, he's different. Takes a penalty, clean as hell, inside of the foot, tricks the goalkeeper, makes it 4-3, and that was it. That was the game. And again, defensively, we were very poor. It was probably one of the most poor defensive performance, maybe since City. I know people say, oh, Chelsea. No, I'll probably say City is probably our worst defensive performance. That was probably our worst defensive performance in quite a while. I'll probably, said City. And it does worry me a little bit, but overall, with us winning the league last year, I'm not going to sound like a top red, but I kind of want our players to have a bit more fun. I want this season just to be a bit more fun and a bit more wild, if you get what I mean, because last season it kind of felt like we were operating like robots. I don't know how to describe it, but it was like, we'll get a win, we'll get a 2-1 here, we'll get this. There wasn't really that many crazy games, if you get what I mean. So I'm kind of happy that we have a few crazy games here and there. Because again, it makes the season a bit more fun, because again, we've won the league now. I just want us to have a bit more fun. But I do think it does show that we do need a few more signings here and there, because I think defensively we are showing a bit of complacency, and yeah, that's just my opinion anyway. And I think we need a bit of revamp in the midfield. But today I thought our midfield was quite good, to be honest. Now let's get into the player ratings. Alisson, I can't say he had a good performance, because again, he's conceded 3 goals. But again, I don't think he did much wrong at the same time. I don't think the goals were particularly his fault. I don't think any of the goals were really his fault, to be honest. I think the second one, he got a touch into it, but again, he was quite out of position because of Van Dijk's mistake. So yeah, I can't really say much, really, to be honest. So yeah, I'm just gonna say 6 out of 10. Really, I don't think he did anything amazing, but again, he didn't do anything shocking. Andy Robertson, I thought it was great today. I think he got an assist, obviously, from the corner. Was a big part. Obviously, he was the one who crossed it in for the goal, for the 3rd goal. Defensively, I thought he was sound. I thought he was quite intelligent. There was a few times where he could have been caught out, but he was quite sharp. There was one time when, especially in the second half, where 2 Leeds United players, one was pressing Alisson, the other one was pressing him, cutting all the passing lanes. He managed to deal with it quite well. I think, passing wise, he was fine. His interplay with Sadio Mane was very good as well. I thought overall it was quite good. I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10 for that one. 8.5 actually. I thought he played very well. Van Dijk, again, he did get the goal. Could have got a second. It was a bit unlucky. Overall, he was good, but then there was obviously the goal that he made a mistake for, so I've got to knock him down for a few points for that. So again, I'm going to say what? I feel this is hard, but I'm going to say 6.5 out of 10. But he did get the goal. It's a bit of a weird one, because again, he got a goal, but then conceded a goal. Well, it was his fault for the goal anyway. And then we did concede another 2. I'm going to say 7. I don't know. You guys may disagree with me on that one, but I'm going to say 7. Because again, he did get the goal as well. And then Joe Gomez, 5. Bro, I don't think he played that well, to be honest. I think for some reason he was hella aggressive in defence when he shouldn't be, which caused a lot of problems for our defence in overall, because it forced Van Dijk to push over to the right-hand side, and he didn't have a Fabinho ahead of him. So when he did push up, there was nobody really taking his place, because Henderson wasn't really doing that. He would push up, and that would just cause a gap. So there was just 4 bodies in midfield and 3 bodies in defence, rather than there being, Joe Gomez going in, then, Henderson going back, and that didn't happen, or Keita or Wijnaldum. None of them had that defensive awareness to actually do that. So again, it was stupidity from Joe Gomez, in my opinion. I think that was mainly one of the main faults for us actually conceding the goals that we did and conceding the chances that we did, because of Joe Gomez's aggressiveness. There was even times when he was playing as a DM essentially, and again, we don't play with a back 3, but at times it was basically Van Dijk just in defence. So for that, I'm going to give him a 5 out of 10. Trent, that was one of the worst. Honestly, that Trent performance was rubbish. There was no attacking prowess. He did nothing in attack, and that was with Salah having. But he did nothing in attack. Defensively, I shouldn't talk about it because it was trash as well. He got spun. He got spun today. Simple as he got spun, and what he was doing. I know it was offside. But bro, if you haven't seen it, a ball gets played over the top. And then I think it was Harrison or whoever chips the ball, and then the ball's going in. Yeah, the ball's going in. You're like, yeah, but Trent's going in, and you're like, yeah, he's gonna head it out. Yeah, and then Donny just heads it in. I'm like, what? Like, how are you heading in like that? It made zero sense to me. It was an awful performance for him. I'm gonna give him a 4 out of 10. I don't know whether he knew it was offside, but still, with VAR, you never know. It was just very weird. It was very weird performance here today from Robertson, from Trent, to be honest. So I'm giving him a 4 out of 10. Henderson, he had good moments, but then again, I think as a DM, he should have been a bit more defensively aware. As I said, Joe Gomez was pushing up a lot, and I think he should have been a bit more aware of it. I know it's not his fault for it, but if somebody else is making a mistake, especially as a captain, you should be having to defend. You know, if you're playing as a defensive midfielder, you should have the positional awareness to see that somebody's out of position and then cover for them. But again, it wasn't a Joe Gomez level performance. So I'm going to say again 6 out of 10. Gini Wijnaldum. I've had my criticisms of him before, but I thought today he played very well. I thought he was good defensively. There was a lot of times when he tackled very well. Carried the ball very well as well. He should have scored a goal, actually, speaking of it. At 3-2, he should have definitely scored. I think that was it, really. I think that was the only problem I had with him, was that he should have scored. There was one time when I think Salah was about to play a brilliant ball in behind, and he got in the way, but that was really it. There wasn't really much that he did wrong. So I'm going to say, 7.5 out of 10 for Gini Wijnaldum. Keita, again, first half I thought it was alright. I don't think his pressing was as good as it normally is, to be honest. I thought he could have pressed a bit better today. And defensively, I don't think it was as good. And attack, he didn't seem as influential as he normally is. So yeah, I'm going to say, 6.5 out of 10 for me for Keita. I don't think he had a masterclass or anything. Mane, I thought he looked very exciting. He was very good. He was toying around with the defence a lot. His passing could have been a bit better, though, in my opinion. I think his passing and his final ball could have been a little bit better. Of course, he played a big part in the first goal, and he was very, very good throughout. But I think he could have done a little bit better for the just overall with his passing and stuff like that. And actually, speaking of, I think Gini Wijnaldum did actually a lot of key passes today, actually, speaking of that. And I thought Gini Wijnaldum played quite well. But for Mane, I'm going to still say I thought it was very good. It was very, it caused a lot of trouble for the defence. I think it was Ayling, he terrorised him a lot. And there was one nutmeg that was just beautiful. But yeah, 8 out of 10 for me. For Mane. Firmino, he needs to get some more goals in his game, bro. Because honestly, he was amazing. It's just that he's scared of the goal. I don't get it. And somebody can maybe talk to me about this, but bro, I don't understand it. He does everything perfect. But then when it comes to shooting or making the final decision around the box, he just can't do it. I don't get it. He's a great player. Maybe if Minamino starts ahead of him, I don't know, maybe that will get his act together. But honestly, he was brilliant apart from it. So I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. And then Mo Salah. Oh my God, Mo Salah. Hear me out here. Top goal scorer this season. He's going to be it. If he plays like that, he's going to be top goal scorer. I'm not saying hat-tricks every game. Because then that means he's averaging what? He's going to get what? 100 goals this season? No, but I see the guy. I see him. Just like, people be like, oh yeah, it's got 2 penalties. Then yeah. Penhamed Salah or something, I don't know. But for me, it was more the dribbling, the passing, the overall gameplay, his decision making. There was so much that just resembled of 17-18 Salah. And bro, it might be the hair. I'm just saying, the aerodynamics, you know this. You know, aerodynamics, the way the hair moves, you know, it makes you a bit more agile. The streamlined beard, nothing was patchy, everything was beautiful. It was just amazing. I think giving him a 10 out of 10 performance is a bit too harsh. It's that mad of a performance. I'm going to give him a 12 out of 10. It's the first ever 12 out of 10 you've ever seen, boys. 12 out of 10 for Mohamed Salah. Curtis Jones, a bit too much flicks and tricks, but overall I thought he was pretty good. Again, he could have done better for the third goal. But again, I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10. Who came on? Fabinho was pretty good as well. Obviously won the penalty. I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. Who else came on? I can't remember who else came on. That's bad. Did anybody else come on? Whoever came on, NA, because I can't even remember, to be honest. But yeah, Liverpool, a win. We're guaranteed to be ahead of City for a week. Yeah. Not really a Champions performance, but a fun game nevertheless. Hopefully we can get some new transfers in, and yeah, it was a fun game. I was never worried at one bit, but it was a fun game. Yeah, it's the end of the video. If you guys did like this video, please make sure to smash that like button. Also subscribe if you guys are new to the channel as well. That would be much appreciated. But yeah, it is the end of the video. It's your boy, OJ White Sam here. Stay safe, and I hope you guys have a very nice day. See ya.